found an old beta tape that I shot between December 1st, 1984, January 1st, 1985. It was shot on an HVC 2400 and an SL2000 portable Betamax at the Beta 2 speed. Let's check this out. Now, I haven't done anything with this tape. This is the original raw footage. Again, it was an HVC 2400. This is a Trinicon Vidicon type camera. It looks god-awful. But this is what we had to deal with back in 1984. This was the first camera I got. It was a used camera that had been traded in with an SL2000. This is directly from the original tape. This tape, again, 1984. It's old. So yeah, it's not looking that good. But then, hey, this is what home video looked like back then. It actually looks better than I'm looking at it on the plasma than it did when I was previewing it on the LCD monitor while I was capturing. No time-based corrector was used. This is just raw footage. I'm just going to let this play. The original tape was over an hour long. I'll probably cut this down a bit. This is Stanley Park in Vancouver. And we had monkeys at the zoo and all kinds of other animals which are long gone. I'm just going to let this go for the historical value to show what Vancouver used to look like, what the park used to look like. So I'm going to shut up now and just let this footage play, and maybe I'll pop in once in a while and tell you where we are, because if I could remember. But hope you guys enjoy this. Now remember, the SL2000 did not have flying erase heads, so when it doesn't edit, there will be a glitch there. That's normal. That's how all the home video cameras of the day worked. And I still have this SL2000. In fact, I still have the HVC 2400 camera as well, but it's long dead. I don't think it works anymore. But I think the 2800 that I got as my second camera to go with that Portapack, I think it still works.
I'm gonna get some popcorn. Good camera.
Yep. Oh, we can hurt you over.
For you dummy. Scavenger, shut up for you.
I remember when I got this camera, the people that had owned it, they traded this in on the BMC 110 when it came out. So the people that bought this camera, they probably bought it at probably 81 or whenever the SL2000 came out. And as soon as the betamovie came out, they traded this in. They traded in the Portapack and the camera to the shop, and it was beat up. Like the cabinet had cracks in it and stuff. Cause, I mean, the portable units were heavy and tend to get dropped. And the recorder was broken. I had to fix the board on it because it had gotten dropped. So I fixed it, and I got it cheap. So I was just kind of playing around with it, just doing random shots, and I probably have never even looked at this. I may have watched it once, and then the tape was just put away, and I just found it today. Literally, this thing's been sitting since I shot it, and I just happened to be going through a box, and I found this tape, and I thought, gee, this might be interesting. So you guys are seeing this for the first time like me. I have no idea what's on here. But they did have a lot of different animals down at the Stanley Park Zoo, which of course has been gone since probably a couple years after this was shot. Here we are driving around the park drive, and I was the passenger, obviously, filming out the passenger window. in my old 1980 Mustang with the 3.3 liter straight six. Damn, that was a good car. I put about 450,000 kilometers on that engine. It just went on forever, and it still ran when I got rid of it. Here's a look at the Lionsgate Bridge. It looks like they're just going to change over the middle lane. The lights are flashing to tell the traffic that's going northbound, get out of the lane. We are going to close it and reverse the direction of that lane. But you see, the lights flashing to tell people to move over, and they're still not moving over. They're still driving. Oh, now they're starting to get the message and starting to move over to the other lane. I just happened to be there at the right time when they were doing the switch over. The light that's flashing just went red. It's flashing yellow, now it's gone red. And in another minute or two, they'll get the green light the other direction and traffic can start flowing 2 lanes southbound. That bridge is still configured the same today. You notice the inductive loops on the center lane. That's to provide direction information so that they know that the traffic is actually cleared and that there's no traffic going northbound before they open the lane up. And of course, when there's traffic going the other way, they have the 2 loops there so that they can detect what direction the traffic is going to make sure that everybody's cleared that lane before the switchover takes place. You see, even back in 1984, people would bitch about paying 25 cents to look through the telescope.
That's good. Adrian? Very expensive.
The bridge operators are in those booths up at the top of the bridge there, so they can monitor not only the traffic on the bridge, but also marine traffic going underneath. Because certain large ships, they can only go through at certain times, like low tide, so that they can clear the bridge, because it's not that high. Like the large cruise ships that come in, they can only pass, the largest of the cruise ships, they can only pass at low tide. Otherwise, they're going to hit the bridge. So they got the marine traffic controllers in there with radars and everything watching the traffic to make sure that the bridge doesn't get hit. Starting to lose the light here, and these old cameras needed a lot of light. Like, they needed a ton of light, and they just did not perform well. But you're going to get the nice ghosting effect here of a Vidicon tube. This is one of the weaknesses of the Vidicon and why the Saticon and Nuvicon tube were so much better. The Saticon being the best of all of them. The Sony Trinicon did things a little different than others. They actually had an index grid on the tube which was used to synchronize the color circuit, so they actually delivered more accurate color than any of the other single tube cameras that were produced. But this one being a Vidicon based camera, it needed a ton of light, and when you didn't give it the light it just didn't look great. But we're going to see lots of comet tails coming up here as I lose the light, because there's a lot of lag on these old tubes, that's for sure. Interesting, they're using mercury lights for the street lights. This is before they'd switched everything over to high pressure sodium, and of course, sodium are now gone for LED everywhere. Coming up on the Broad Street Bridge, my grandfather's name is actually on the bridge because at the time when the bridge was built, he was a Vancouver city alderman at the time, and his name is on the plaque on that bridge. Fun fact, my grandfather and I had the same name, just our first and middle names were reversed. Oh, the comet tails of tube cameras. We just hated it. They just look so hokey. This shot's from Highway 17 in Delta, long before they made this a divided highway. In fact, there's a bend in the highway up here. There was a real bad accident here a few years after this was shot, and right at 28th Avenue, which is just past this bend in the road, there was a crossing there, and there was a bad accident there. And after that accident, they put a divider down the middle of the highway, and they divided it, but it was a 4-lane open highway, and people just fly down there. So this is looking at the farm fields. This is again December. Lots of snow on Mount Baker. And not much going on other than playing around with this camera. I guess it was probably a Saturday or a Sunday because I was working at the TV shop during the week. And I'd take my camera out and just kind of play around with it because it was a new toy. I got this camera and I was out just horsing around with it, just filming stuff in general like everybody did when they had a camera back then. Everybody just filmed random stuff. I think it's kind of cool, the old cars and just the way things used to look. As you can see, that highway was pretty dangerous. Now there's a concrete divider right down the middle. But back then, nope. And it was notorious when it got really cold and ice on the road. People would go flying around this corner and end up basically right where I am. They'd slide right off the road into the other lane when they got ice on the road. Okay, I believe I'm up in North Vancouver now, and we're going to go up the sky ride up to Grouse Mountain. So we're gonna go up there. Everybody else is skiing. I'm just up there with my camera and a winter jacket to take some pictures. So I went up there, and I think I left the girlfriend down in the car because she didn't want to go up. She's scared of going on a sky ride, so she wouldn't go up with me. She says, "No, you go up there and take pictures." So she waited down in the car while I went up there and took some pictures, and just about froze because I wasn't prepared for how cold it was up there. I had a jacket on, but I wasn't, like everybody else had their ski jackets on. They were skiing, and I was up there with just a regular jacket on, and it was bloody cold. And I had my hands just about froze holding the camera.
I'm not going up there.
You're kidding.
If I could have your attention for a moment, please. I'd like to welcome you to Grouse Mountain this afternoon as the Paradise Weather Station. All the runs are open. Paradise Cut, Blue Chair, Peak, and Inferno. Under the Inferno, Purgatory, Hades, and Inferno. These policies are strictly enforced so as to ensure you have an enjoyable and safe day skiing at Grouse. Also like to remind you that if you have anything stolen, skis or poles, please report it to the upper terminal attendant. Give a description, and we'll see if we can locate and bring them back for you. Also, the ski check is an operative today, so if you guys want to check into the ski check, just do that. That'll save any loss of equipment. It's just right behind the upper.
Sweep down here or you won't get this end of it. Just made it.
I can have your attention just for another moment, please. Building off to my left is Upper Chalet. Upstairs, the loft is open. Downstairs, the cafeteria, gift shop, and ski shop are open. Just behind is a small brown trailer. That's the ski check. We strongly recommend that you use that facility. Also, if anybody has to do any ski repairs while on the hill today, or would like to rent any equipment, you can do that at the outpost, which is just up behind the Upper Chalet by 100 meters. The red trams will be leaving every 2 or 10 minutes on the way down till the end of the day. You can catch either one you want, stay as long as you like. Hope you all had fun on the snow today. Enjoy the sun while it's still out there.
The stroboscopic effect you're going to see as I zoom out is actually not crosstalk between the luminance and the chroma. It's actually interference on the single tube because of the resolution of the tube, but it gives you kind of a neat effect there as I zoomed out. I think this was shot around Christmas on 1984, so if you're up on Grouse Mountain skiing around that time, maybe you recognize yourself on this film. You never know. Someone might see themselves and say, hey, that's me.
We can get in this way, can't we?
Sure.
We can get in down here. Carry the green bag. Oh, I know.
Now, if you're wondering why I went up there, there's the Crow's Nest restaurant. I actually went up there and had lunch and did some filming when I was up there and went back down. It was quite an expensive lunch because I had to pay for the ticket to go up there and back, but it was kind of cool. But it was cold. It was very cold outside.
Julie, what are you supposed to do with this stuff?
Skyride is now leaving. Good job. No, you go ahead. Yeah, where's he living in ski down? No, but let's see that ski down. That can be double dapping. I want to see you guys do that now. The whole thing.
Give to his family.
No, I think it really is. Stop. Nobody died.
Yeah, well, then
He hit it. No, I think he just
Yeah, let's turn on the voice of that big guy. Hey, the gables are running. Look at it.
Hey, look at that run. Go on. Sure. Just talk about it. Right into the river. You lose control.
No, look at the
All right, so when we get up close to the Kelsey,
They always come down to the street.
Never come down to our house.
No, they always do that.
What did he say? That 180?
Get the bus is easy. Look up. Look down there.
Stand up. My dad comes over. It was so funny.
There's a nice car.
Walked to my brother's fence.
Green and black is not cool.
If anything, it's set up.
There's one color now.
Well, there's the one place. Hey, what you guys doing in our car? Get on my transit. No.
First he comes in the hands were on and then he goes to the trucks right here.
If I could have everyone's attention for one last time. I would like to thank you for visiting us at Grouse Mountain today. Hopefully you've all had a nice day. And just a reminder that our lounge and restaurant are open 7 days a week. Also, we will be open for skiing again tomorrow from 9 a.m. till 11 p.m.
Nice.
Thanks again.
I don't know. Bye-bye. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
This is, I think, a lookout from Mount Seymour Park, or Mount Seymour. We went up Mount Seymour and took some shots from the lookout. I'm pretty sure that's Seymour. Or it could have been Cypress Bowl from the lookout. It was a lookout on one of the North Shore Mountains. It might have been Cypress. I think, yeah, it could have been Cypress. I think we went over to Horseshoe Bay, did some filming over there, so we would have been heading, I think it was, I could be wrong. It's either Seymour or Cypress. It's hard to tell, because they both had lookouts like this, right? That would be the Nanaimo Ferry coming into Horseshoe Bay. Pretty sure this is Highway 17 north of Highway 99. We're just in Delta. We're just heading towards River Road. There's a cement factory there. Of course, this is all changed now. But that's what it used to look like. And then we're going to head onto River Road and head down, be heading towards Tilbury Industrial Park on River Road. I think that's the cement plant there. It's completely changed now. They've got the road's got a divider in the middle of it now. And there should be a pump station coming up here. And yep, there's the pump station. So that's River Road now. So Fraser River is just over to the left of us here. Got some farmland over here. Here I am driving, holding the camera out the window. This is not a small camera. This is a good-sized camera with a cable connected to the recorder. I probably had it sitting on the seat next to me. But we'll be coming up on Tilbury Industrial Park, which again is completely different now than it was back then. There's a traffic light here now, and there's several lights down here now. And on the left, that's all industrial. There's all kinds of industry there, and even on the right, it's all industry now. It had not been developed. This one, Tilbury, was still a fairly young industrial park. All the area you see on both sides here is all industry now. National Tire Wholesale there on the left. They're still there. I bought my tires there a couple of years ago. Bought a set of tires for the car there. But again, this is all pretty empty here. There's a concrete plant over there. But this is all fully developed now. Back then, everything was still bare. Oh, someone has a radar detector. It's funny, ever since I got rid of the radar detector, I never got one speeding ticket. But when I had a radar detector, I got speeding tickets. A shot of the Fraser River. I think this was actually shot before the Alex Fraser Bridge was built, and the Fraser Bridge is right in this area here, I think, if I remember correctly. But there's no bridge there at this point because it hadn't been built yet. It was built a couple of years later. That's where the power lines cross the river, and the bridge is just a little bit east of where this is shot. If you look at their distance there, that almost looks like they're starting the towers for that bridge on the screen there. There's all the old shipbuilding and boat repair places along the river. This would be Boundary Bay Airport or Boundary Bay Air Park. That's the Roberts Bank coal port. Now it's Delta Port because the container ship's down there now. But back then that was just the coal port. My dad actually worked down there from the time it opened until he retired in 1989. That was just exporting coal to Japan is what went on there. here we're looking south on Highway 17 at Highway 10 from the pedestrian overpass. This would be January 1st, 1985. Polar bear swim. Where you get all the people that have been celebrating New Year's and partying all night. And they are literally pickled with ethanol. So they think it's a good idea just to go out in the ocean and swim around when it's like, you know, the water's like 3 degrees Celsius. I got all the boats out there in case people get in trouble. But people will actually run out there and take a dip. I'm not that brave. This would be English Bay in Vancouver, where this was shot.
Yeah, I guess they will get out eventually.
Probably warmer in there.
Oh, the John Candy,
See what I mean? Some people are brave. They'll go out there and just wait around until they can't tolerate the cold anymore. I don't know. Is there a prize for whoever stays out there the longest and doesn't die of hypothermia?
You know what they say, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it.
You lost all your freaking, you don't need gloves. Okay.
Oh, you haven't had your fight yet today. Is this it? Hey, hold on, presenting in this corner. At 93 pounds.
Careful, not around my...
Yeah, yeah. Oh, big up to all the viewers. Listen to the vibes. Down in the heart of the beat, we're rolling tonight. 12 all vids, got the spark, everything's alright. From cars to the sounds that make you feel free. We're grateful for the love, you're the family. Late nights and bright lights, cruising the lane with every video drop. You're calling our name, so we sing it loud. Let the world hear.